Details are very, very, very gruesome. Just when you think, as a prosecutor, you think you've seen the worst, a case comes along that proves that you may be wrong.
Yeah, this horrific story out of Missouri where this couple is facing charges connected to the murder of a pregnant woman. Police believe that Amber and Jamie Waterman killed Arkansas native Ashley Bush, who was 31 weeks pregnant. Police say Amber used a fake name on Facebook, pretending to be a woman named Lucy, who was offering to take Bush to a job interview. But investigators say she instead wanted to claim Bush's baby as her own, and a kidnapping ensued. I do want to bring in former FBI agent Jennifer Coffendorfer for her insights on this. Jennifer, appreciate your time. A terrible case.
It's terrible, Natasha. It's rare. A woman 31 weeks pregnant to be taken hostage, to be taken across state lines, and to be viciously murdered and burned, and having lost her baby. It's unusual and rare and heinous.
Heinous indeed. And we know investigators say they found the victim and her baby's bodies in separate locations. What is your read into this as details come out? Does it seem like it was a well-orchestrated plan, or was this a kidnapping gone terribly wrong?
Well, I think they were very successful in the initial part of the kidnapping, and even with seemingly the birth of the baby. But there were complications after the baby was removed from Miss Waterman, or otherwise was induced to be delivered. And that's where things really went south.
And I do want to talk about the significance of how this played out online, because police say they found Facebook posts from Amber Waterman disguised under the name Lucy. And at first she offered to give baby items to moms in need, and then offered to give her a ride to a job interview once that connection was established. Oh, what is your read? What do you make of this?
Well, she was certainly fishing. I don't believe that Ashley Bush was her only possible victim. I've read several of these interactions, and definitely she was posed specifically to gain a child, and that was her end game. However, it seemed very obvious that that would mean that the mother would end up dead. Thus, her charges, federal kidnapping charges, resulting in death, which are punishable by life in prison.
And with your background, what would be the next steps to try to discover if, in fact, she was the only victim of this couple?
Well, the FBI is going to not only be poring forensically over what happened at that house. We know there's a burn site. We know there was a gunshot. They're going to be poring over all of that. But they're also going to be going historically from the first contact that was ever made clear to the point they crossed state lines and the individual, Miss Ashley Bush, was then murdered. So they're going to be looking at camera footage. They're going to be looking at forensic cell phone, computer footage. They've got a lot to unwrap, but they're going to come up with a historical timeline that perfectly intertwines the Watermans with Miss Bush and her baby.
Right, and Amber Waterman facing charges, as you mentioned, for kidnapping resulting in death. Her husband charged with being an accessory after the fact for helping Amber dispose of the body. Is it likely, do you believe, that the couple may face any additional charges in this case?
I think they will. I think they'll face charges regarding their baby. The baby, Valkyrie. And I think that's very possible. We haven't even heard mention of that yet. And I think they're sorting through the specifics as to how the baby did suffer in death. And I think that those will be additional charges waged. But I am grateful in a way that Jamie Waterman cooperated, because that's how we have all these details and know exactly what happened. It's making a deal with the devil, but at least we know what happened and they can have a solid case.
Yeah, and it's grisly and heartbreaking as well. And Jennifer, always appreciate your insights and what you're able to provide. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you, Natasha.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.